Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horror review. It appears I'm not going live on Facebook for some reason. Doing weird stuff. So I'll try once more. If not, then I guess it's just YouTube. Technology is wonderful, eh? Yeah, it's not like a not. Oh well. Oh, well, just YouTube today, folks. I know it's been a wee minute since I posted. Tell you what it was doing stuff, recording, and binge watching a TV series that I was supposed to do a review on, but it turns out nobody else on my guest list can make or not get the content because what we're watching it's chopped up regionally all over the show, so it's a bit of a mess. So we'll have to go with what everybody can get hold of. So I watched the series of a TV show, which apparently there's 2 seasons, and I can't get the second season. Go figure. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We have comedy horror. Bit of fun. Seeing it pop up on Shudder, and a few people seem to like it. Sorry about the demons, or sorry about the demon. One of them. This was a decent flick, I have to say. A lot of fun. Didn't take itself too seriously. Bit formulaic, dragged on a bit towards the end, but apart from that, generally enjoyable. So the premise of the story is we have Will and Amy. They're a couple. Will is your stereotypical dweeb, no direction in life, just faffing about. Can't stick to anything. God, sounds like me. Oh dear. Yeah, I get fed up with. I do hobbies and get fed up. My problem is people. People get my nerves, and I can't be in the same space, especially in closed space with like the same people for far too long. Because it just drives me nuts. I need to get away from it, change the scenery, or at least some time to myself. That's why I think I'm better if I just when I have to earn a living, just do it in a box and just be left alone. But hey ho, one can dream. Anyway, enough about that. So Amy is God. What does she do? She's a designer of some sort or something. Ambiguous sort of career. It's not important. The important thing is that she has a career. He doesn't. He's faffing about. They're living together. We start off with her coming back from a works event and him making her cookies and stuff while on a phone, one of them telemarketer phones for some weird brand of toothpaste. Yeah, apparently a brand of toothpaste has a helpline where people who use the toothpaste can call in and comment about the product. Because you're not going to take it seriously, but yeah, there probably are people that do that. That's the sad thing. There's probably somebody has a tube of toothpaste because it has a helpline, and they can call some random rep that discuss their experience. In today's day and age, that does not surprise me. That's an option that's out there. So there you go. He's the man of that. She is frustrated because he was meant to go with her, and he effectively fobs her off. He's just like, yeah, I'm sure it was nice, blah, blah, blah. And like, she see them with him. You can see that, and this isn't like high quality acting. This is by the numbers, the horror comedy flick. You're not getting any like deep emotional moments there, but she portrays it quite well as she see them with him, as you would be. If you've got a partner, you expect them to support you, and you support them. That's that kind of the way it works. But that's kind of the whole setup for this. He's that wrapped up in his own world, but his own world doesn't actually amount to anything. And that's kind of the point they're making. So she breaks up with him. Don't know if they were living. I think they were living together, or did they have separate apartments? Can't remember that, but only watched it last. Actually, I had to watch this in 2 bits because I was flipping knackered. I had to break it up and watch it the next night because it was just stuff going on, trying to catch up with other things, and watching a whole movie that just last couple of days has been an impossibility. But yeah, in the end, they split up. He finds himself looking for somewhere. Cut to the scene where we have the Sellers family, your typical 2.4 kids, blah de blah, and they effectively take the mick out of The Exorcist. The wee girl, God, what do you call her? Grace. I think it's Grace. Yeah, Grace. We girl gets possessed by the ominous. Like I thought I was bad at giving people names, but this thing takes a biscuit. The ominous takes over Grace, and I think a really good scene in this here that kind of sets up the whole movie, that it's not your typical boring uh, go the uh, go by the trope sort of thing. Is they start talking to the demon. Like whenever you see a possession movie, and they're not my favorite genre. I'd watch one quicker than a found footage movie. I'll give it that, but they're not high on the list because it's very repetitive. There's not too much scope in a possession movie. Your typical two priests walk into a exorcism. We've all seen it before. And God, what was I thinking? Yeah, so they're like, yeah, what do you want? The owner's like, the owner wants soul, all that kind of stuff. And like, well, we kind of bought this house at a good price. Want to live here, but don't want you to. What do we need to do? So I'm just very pragmatic about it. And that was actually hats off to you. It's like, okay, Damon, right. Yeah, we'd like a daughter back and we want to live in this house and we'd like you to go. So how do we make that happen? And basically it's like, give me a sacrifice. So this elaborate plan comes where somehow Will gets enticed because he's looking for somewhere. So they must have been living together and him she then kicked them out. I think that's how it worked. Very weird. So they're yeah, he's looking for this place, steal of a price, big house. Any of us would be like, suspicious. What the hell? You're just looking for that secret basement at the end of the day, the passageway that leads into the crypt. Gnarly things are going to happen, but there we go. He, of course, is heartbroken, mopping about. Yeah, he's like, maybe I don't want to live here, and then they have to talk him into it. And he kind of shrugs and moves in. Yeah, and then movie carries on. What was good then is the whole sequence of events where he's just mincing about the house, doing his thing, and the ghosts. So it turns out not only is there a demon, but there's ghosts in this house as well. So it's like ram packed. So they don't show themselves at first. They start doing stuff, and he's kind of blasé about it. And then, yeah, one of the ghosts is messing with his TV. And then the characters in TV are turned around saying it's all his fault, all that kind of stuff. And then he twigs on what it is, and he just goes to him, here, do you want my soul? Take it. And the demon's like, no. Ugh, ugh. He's apathetic that the demon's like, no, I don't want your soul. Ugh, cooties, sort of thing. It was really well played. It was understated as well. You know why some of these comedy horrors ham things up to the extreme where it becomes ad nauseum and you're just like, nah, and you lose the gag. His whole blasé attitude and the seller's family's blasé attitude towards the actual realization that there's demons and spirits on the earthly plane, they're just kind of meh. Is brilliant. It's brilliantly done. I think that's my favorite aspect of this movie. Sort of pragmatic people, just okay. So you're a demon, right? Okay, here's what I want. What do you want? Let's talk like regular folk, and that actually makes sense. If the two parties negotiate rather than blunt force, yeah, it makes sense. We've also got Will's friend Patrick. He meets him for a drink, and he won't tell Patrick what's going on. No, he does. He tells him, and then it turns out Patrick's also like Amy, that he's a lawyer, successful, has hobbies, does this, does that, organized, and Will's just like a complete flake. I don't get it. I don't get how you can't get the basics right. We all like shiny stuff. We all want to achieve in life, but get your basics done first. Get your basics. You've something to leap off from. If you're wishy washy and all over the show, it's like this stuff. I will work on it, but I know it's not making bread and butter for it's not earning me a living. So I earn a living, and then I do this on the side when I can, and Doesn't mean I don't enjoy doing it any less than somebody that does it full time. But I also understand that this is a very niche genre in a lot of respects, and I'm not some young TikToker, so in terms of going viral, it's not going to happen. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But at least I have my grounding that I have a salary coming in and I have a roof over my head, pay my bills, and can enjoy buying nerdy stuff, and then share said nerdy stuff with you. That's good enough for me, and things progress. But you need that kind of. I can keep building this channel. You know, every time I make a video, it builds up. Every time I talk about something, it builds up. It all adds. It's all part of the creation process. But I'm not flipping. Okay, I'll do horror this week. I'll do sci-fi next week. I'll tell you what. I'll forget this channel. I'll start another one, and it'll be something completely related, but it's going to take twice as much energy. That's where you kind of lose things. There's people that have multiple hobbies and interests, but they plan it out, and I think that's the difference. Where between like Will's and Patrick's character, I'm staying relevant within this movie. The different types of personality. Establish your thing. Know what it is you're building, creating. Once that's, I don't know if not as hard work, because there's a lot of work goes into putting all that stuff together. But once you have your format, once it's not you're reinventing the wheel every time you click record or stream, you know what you're talking about and you've got your way about you. Then you can build the next thing if you want to expand and look into something else. But you're starting off from scratch again, and you take your time building it up. And it's all about balance, I suppose. So I'm going to sneeze and just. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Love going live. Can't edit that out. But yeah, and that's the difference. You see, Will, he just can't build anything. And all the way through it, which he's an amazing cake builder or cake maker, which is a skill in itself. There's people run very successful business. Remember the whole cupcake thing was a craze? Like people had neighbors actually turn their garage into like an outside kitchen, because then they could separate the kitchen from the house. It could conform to all the health and safety standards and be closed, so that was like a contained unit. And they just ran their cupcake business, just made it there, and obviously shipped it out to folk and did quite well. But there you go, But there was the whole thing. They both had jobs first. They built, then they went to do the next thing. And this is what Will's missing. He just doesn't have that. He hasn't got that ability. Even though he's got talented people around him, which is doubly frustrating. When you've actually got help and talent and folks that are invested in you, then he's not using them either, and just moping in self-pity. Well, no surprise to what happens to him. So this all leads to him being completely unappealing to like a demon. Demon's like, nah, want nothing to do with you. So he's like living in this house, just mincing about the place. What happens next? He meets Patrick for the drink. Patrick introduces him to Amy with 2 E's, because it's totally not Amy, his girlfriend he split up from, and that he actually made that point in thing. And Will's just not feeling it. Patrick doesn't believe him about the demons and stuff. So this girl just sits down, she's about to go in, and he's just like, nah, and just unleashes on her as in, I've got demons, I've got ghosts, I've got this, and I've got that. No, sorry, I've got ghosts. He didn't know about demons, sorry. Didn't know about the demons, it was ghosts. He was haunted. So it turns out she does house cleansing, or used to. And then that just by convenience, like, oh yeah, let's go cleanse your house right now. And then that's it. They go into a whole thing. There's about 3 acts in this, like 3 different plots. And the last bit kind of drags on a wee bit. I thought I shortened that down. This would have been a really tight movie. Kind of goes on a wee bit. But yeah, Amy 2, we'll say Amy 2 goes to the house, and then Do you have sage and salt? And he's all this, and he's like, "You're not going to use all that. I want to bake something tomorrow." So he's not really in the groundwork. So he's got the skill. He's just a bit of a flake. She does the house cleansing, carries out the ritual, and then she's like, "Uh-oh, that was a get rid of ghost spell, and this is a demon." And then everything turns into chaos. What happens next? Yeah, I guess everyone gets thrown about a bit. Will gets his arm broken, goes to hospital, comes back, and then Amy 1 appears. Worried about him, heard he's in hospital, blah, blah, blah. Now he meets her before this, and she'd already shacked up with somebody else. So she kicked him out of the house, and then just somebody else moved in within minutes, and he still chases after her. It's like, dude, no. That's the only bit of this movie makes me go, no. He's barely rid of him, and she's already moved on to the next one, and then she's coming back all concerned. Like, to me, that's bye, see ya. No interest in that. That's my personal thing. It seems to be a very American thing, this, that people screw around in relationships and then exes are always on the scene, and it's supposed to be okay. The ex comes around for dinner and stuff, and everyone's all happy clappy. It's a weird American concept which I never got my head around. It's like you don't invade someone's relationship or privacy, even if it's done. It's like leave them to it. If it's over, it's over. Don't keep coming around. But it's like I said, it's not a British thing. Obviously, you've got people that can't paint everybody with the same color, but tar with the same brush or say standard. But for the most part, it's definitely an American thing, or it's portrayed. Americans portray this sort of thing a lot, and it kind of goes into their culture. It's very odd. But yeah, she then comes back around. He tries to have a night together, and then she gets possessed, and then it all becomes about the ominous lie, because demons lie, and all he wants is two souls to, open the gates of hell and take them back. So he gets Amy, and then the sailors appear back, thinking it's all done, and then they realize that Grace is still possessed, who was possessed in the first place. And then it just turns into what do you call it? The usual farcical battle against the demon, finding out how to banish him, stuff to do. That was all quite. If I had ended there, cool. Then they kind of drag it on for the final bit, and this goes on for ages. It's set a year later, and Will and Patrick go into business together. And I can't remember, I only watched this last night, and I can't remember what they were doing. I think it was baking cakes. It had to be baking cakes. Because that's what that's what we were throwing at his talent on her hand the whole time. No, he bought the toothpaste company. That's what it was. It should have been baking cakes, but he bought the toothpaste company. And then was inventing flavors for it. Like, just that bit got me. Because we've already seen what his business could have been, but that's just me. Then the sellers are back in the house who are selling it to him because of the ghosts. And he's blasé about the ghosts being about, and they're kind of just part of the family now. Then randomly goes that Grace goes and finds a Walkman which had the ominous words on it. He possessed the Walkman, and then it's like the final scene's like, oh, I hope she doesn't find, or the ominous didn't go in there, anything could leave the house, sort of thing. It's like, what? Her driving off, oh shit, sort of thing. It's like, okay, right. That last scene didn't need to happen. That kind of spoiled the movie a bit. It was generally funny. Couple and a half points. Hey, Chris, all right. Well, that's the thing. It's the same as music. Matt, you always remember the opening bars. You always remember the closing bars. That's your first and last impressions of something. So yeah, you can have it. If a movie opens badly, you're kind of and then you're tainted for the rest of the way through. But if a movie's decent and then the last bit kind of derails it, that's your last impression. And when you take out the Blu-ray, leave the cinema, switch off the TV, change channel, it doesn't matter. That's your last impression of, that's the bit that sticks in your head. So all the good work that happened is gone. It's a bit of a shame. Well, I wouldn't say gone, but it's marred. But we've seen other movies where that's happened. It's the final act just kind of throws the whole thing under the bus, and then you're left with a sort of sour taste. But there you go. That was it. It's not a bad movie. It's not it's not set your world on fire, but it's a good little laugh and watch. And there's minimal gore, so it's not like a gory movie. It's not meant to be. It's just a bit of fun. The makeup's quite decent. The demon, Diomedes' makeup when he possesses both Amy and Grace is actually quite decent, not over the top. And the ghost's makeup is quite cool as well. They did a good job there. So yeah, there's limited special effects. It's not like a effects heavy sort of movie. It's not like Call Girl of Cthulhu, where it's like cheesy, hammy, over the top type stuff, or werewolves versus strippers. It's not that type of stuff. It's just understated, but it works with the context. I think the most complicated bit was like the pit and the hell. That was weird the way they did that. That was a different way to do it. A portal into the damnation realm sort of thing. Yeah, that was a cool way to do it, and how they closed the portal was quite cool. Novel idea. But yeah, there you go. There's my review. Sorry to Facebook. I've posted the link anyway. So if you're not seeing the live stream there, at least you can see the video. I might, when I download this to put up the anchor, I'll maybe reload it up to Facebook so you can catch up there. So right, this Sunday we are covering Lord of Illusions, the movie based on the book, or the short story The Last Illusion by Clive Barker. A couple of weeks' time, they're all up. If you look on the channel, you'll see there's a section that says upcoming streams. So if you go to the actual channel main page, you'll see all our scheduled streams coming up. Then myself and a few people, we're going to do Let the Right One In. That's what I said at the start of the stream. There's a whole thing with that movie. There's two movies, a TV series, and a book. And internationally, because there's himself, Dale's going to be there, Andy's going to be there, Eugene can't make it. I think there's a couple of others. So we've got like Australasia, Europe, and North America sort of taking part. And it turns out each of the regions can only get. I've seen the original, but now I can't get the original movie. I can see the remake. I can see season 1 of the TV show, but I can't see season 2. In New Zealand, you can't see the TV show at all. You can see the latest movie, and you can't get the book. In America, I think I need to check actually with Andy what he can actually see and not see. But it's like different parts of this property are only available in different parts of the world. It's very, very strange. Cameron and I have talked about this a lot. The distribution aspect lately for the movie industry and entertainment in general is up the left. It's an absolute shit show. And the thing is, our stance on piracy. All you're doing with this nonsense is promoting it. You may as well give people, tell them to hoist the Jolly Roger and sail the high seas, because when you mess about in this world of digital sharing, having region blocked content not available at all, I can understand it not being on the streaming platform. Like Amazon's a good example. You can have stuff available on Amazon in one region, and then you have to rent it if you want to see it. That's fair enough. And then same happens all over. That could be a distribution thing. But the fact that the same property isn't available all over, it's foolish, very foolish as well. Because if you make a remake of something, have the original available, because there's more opportunity to, people like me to check it out. Because you get curious. Other other people watch it, not necessarily to review, but if you watch a remake of something, you do get curious about the original. Or if you watch the original and you hear there's a remake, well, you've got to check it out. If you read books and you know that there's a movie out and it's based on a book, you're generally going to want to check it out. So to me, this whole thing of, right, you can only see this bit here, there, and the other place, it's very, very strange. I don't get it. I don't get the logic behind it. I'm sure some clever business executive, but considering the fact that the entertainment industry is surviving on was it capital income, venture capital? That's the word. The money that the investors put in, they're essentially surviving in that and not actually making profit. A lot of stuff. Because for the one successful movie, for example, there's about 5 failures that have made losses. So you'd think they'd be working smarter. And what they're doing instead is they're just poking at people and annoying them. There's this whole thing now with cinemas that you're paying more to sit in certain seats, which is mad. It just makes you go, why bother? Streaming, the password blocking, sharing of that, sharing the passwords coming in. And this whole thing that you have to log in once a month with Netflix is just going to be annoying. You're just going to be like, why will I bother? Because at the end of the day, it's a balance. Some people sign up to something, your family will sign up to another, and you share, and then but between you all, you're spending the same amount of money, and you're helping properties grow by giving them the watch time, and then that makes it valuable to advertisers. There's a whole disconnect between the business side of entertainment at the moment, and I don't know. I don't know where it's going. But yeah, we've got that coming up definitely. I will try and see what else I watch before the end of the week. I need to get this. I have a story at the moment I'm working on, and I need to get it finished. I hate editing. That's the thing. I can record till the guys come home. I can put the story together, as in, when I start putting the effects and stuff in. But see the editing part where I go back in, because if I do a line, I'll do it about 3 or 4 times. If there's a particular line I'm reading out, I'll do it 3 or 4 times, and then I hate listening back to that and trying to pick the right one and then chopping it out and taking on my little, because when I'm doing it, my microphone's like right here, so it picks up everything. That's a difficult one because I know Blu-rays become more popular. So if Blockbuster changed from, I know they recently moved into DVDs from VHS. If they maybe jump in the Blu-ray trend, they might be all right. But if they still stay with DVDs, I don't know if they're going to do well. I think that's my financial advice to anyone. There you go, because I'm smart like that. If you listen to me, you've got trouble. I feel guilty sometimes recommending people movies because I have a cheesy, terrible taste and stuff. I almost feel like I'm being a bit sadistic, inflicting my movie taste on you. But there you go. That's why I like to torture myself too, because at least you just get some payback. Yeah, but there you go. This, as usual, these streams. Once I get a couple of people in chat, that's it. Tangent City. That's what it's all about. That's why I like doing these live, because doing sterile movie reviews has never been my interest. I like talking about it, but like shooting the shit as well. It's all fun. But there you go. I will. There's just past 10 o'clock. I think I will call day because 6 a.m. comes quickly, especially towards the end of the week. I end up just being completely zonked. But there's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you decide to check out the movie, let me know what you think. Do you agree with what I thought? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments. As always, keep it respectful. Don't be a twat. Keep up to date with the channel. Do the typey clicky things. And until next time, keep it creepy. Keep it horrific.